Welcome, strength fans. This is the Daddy Glenn Ross, and this is Ultimate Strongman News. Okay, guys, we're talking about World's Strongest Man in Sacramento. 2021 has now brought the grand final lineup. So it was a really grueling, heated competition. Some of my predictions have come through. In fact, a good few of them. And some haven't. There's a few surprises in the mix, as there is every year in World Strongest Man. So in Group 1, Branshaw, as predicted, wins his group reasonably comfortably with 2.5 points, and is going through the World's Strongest Man to claim that record-breaking or joint record-breaking 5th title with Mariusz Pudzianowski. You know, that big 5 to make it that legendary status is a big thing in any strongman circles, even in your nation's championships. So to get the 5, it will be absolutely awesome. And I like I said in my previous video, for me, this is Branshaw's last hurrah of getting that 5th title. And if he's going to do it, it's going to be this year. And he looks in pretty good shape. But the surprise in that group, in the stone-off, was Aivars Smaukstelis of Latvia, the guy that made the final last year. Very strong guy. I thought he was going to go through, but was beaten by Maxime Boudreault, our Canadian, a bit of a dark horse. We knew he was strong, and he has come through to make his final. Which is fantastic. Really good to see another Canadian coming through the ranks of really top drawer caliber. In Group 2, bit of a surprise in this group now for winning the group was Trey Mitchell. Now, you know, a real gentleman in the strongman world is Trey. Really glad to see he's made the final, but he's made it in style. He won by 1 point in his group to get the top draw, so he didn't have to do the stone playoff. And Trey of the USA will be joining Brian and Maxine in the final. So in the stone off was a real showstopper. We had Tom Stoltman, who just missed out on that top spot to be in the stone off against the miracle that is Mark Felix. And obviously youth, with this stone repetition playoff, beat, you know, experience in this, because, you know, it suddenly becomes a fitness event really to a point, power fitness event. And Tom now is starting to come into his own as a real class act. You know, and listen, we wish the Brits well in the final. You know, we could have had Mark in, but you know, that's the way strongman goes. I mean, at such a mature age as Mark is now, you know, it's amazing what he keeps doing. And listen, he's been a credit to the sport in many ways, and we wish him well in the future. And I don't think you'll see the last of Mark Felix. But Tom, Trey, Maxine and Branshaw now are the 4 from Group 1 and Group 2. Moving on to Group 3. As predicted, JF Caron. You know, what a guy this is. Superb deadlifter, good presser. He's just an all-round competitor. And to be honest with you, you know, I think this is his year to make the podium. If not, go even further up the podium. I could see even a runner-up spot, or maybe that Cinderella story and get the title, as Novakov did last year. So, you know, we wish JF all the best. He's done really well. 20 points. He won it quite convincing in his group by 3 clear points. But being knocked out, though I did predict him to be certainly in the stone off, was Robert Oberst. Robert, you know, top lad. Unfortunately, the USA didn't make it in that group. But Eythor Melsted of Iceland is the big shocker, beating Robert Oberst in the stone off and making his way into the final. So we've got an Icelander a Viking joining the lineup. So that's Eythor, JF, Tom, Trey, Brian and Maxime are now of the group. So that's 6 gone through. We move now on to group 4, who qualified there. And again, the daddy predicted this one as well. Konstantin Janasha, my dark horse favourite, if you like, to win this title. I've said here, he's injury-free, he's hungry. This Georgian is ready to take the title. And he won his group more convincing than anybody else by 4 clear points out of all the groups. And just to prove a point that he is ready. And we wish him well in the final. But he will be joined in that group in the playoff. As predicted, I said Adam and Jerry are going to be the ones doing the stone playoff, and it is the case. But unfortunately, Jerry, the USA, didn't make it through, and our Brit, Adam Bishop, what a performance. He is made it into the final. So I'm absolutely delighted for Adam Bishop. He's a really, really nice lad, and it's great to see this Englishman in the final amongst such a great lineup, and let's see what he can do. So the 8 so far is Adam, Konstantin, Eythor, JF, Maxime, Brian, Trey and Tom, and there's only 2 more left. So group 5, we've had a real surprise winner in this group. I didn't expect it to happen, but Bobby Thompson won the group 5, the USA guy. Now this guy, you know, he is a seasoned athlete now, knows his stuff, and I would say he's going to be a real, he's going to plan the final out really, really well, and I could see a reasonable result from him in that 10-man lineup in the final. So wish Bobby all the best. Going through, beating Kevin Furs of the USA. Now Kevin, what a Cinderella heat he had. He led it at one point, but unfortunately got kicked out by Luke Stoltman in the stone playoff. And Luke, listen, was unfortunate to be in the stone playoff. One more second in the forward hold, and Luke Stoltman would have topped the group, and it would have been 2 USA in the playoff. But as it was Luke and Kevin in the stone playoff. And Luke, well, listen, he's a clack sack when it comes to stone lifting, just like his brother Tom. And you wouldn't bet against him when it comes to stone playoffs, but against these 2 Stoltman brothers. And Luke won it. So Luke's in the final to join his brother. So the final lineup as it stands then is Luke Stoltman, Bobby Thompson winning group 5, group 4, Adam Bishop, Konstantin Janasha winning group 4, Eythor Melsted in group 3, JF Caron winning group 3, Tom Stoltman, Trey Mitchell winning group 2, Maxime Boudreault in group 1, and Brian Shaw winning group 1. So that's the lineup. So that's our 10, but the big shock is Novakov is out. World's Strongest Man 2020 didn't even make the stone off. Real shock to the competition, and it'll be, in my opinion, a loss because you know, he's a bit of a character. You know, he's this Ukrainian, young, hungry, but I don't think we'll see the last of him. I think he'll go home now, he'll lick his wounds and come back out the rest of the season. We've had an up and down season for a lot of the strongman athletes. It's been very hard to prepare for such a massive competition to retain your title. And, you know, maybe a little bit of an experience has cost Novakov to make his exit. But, you know, he will become wiser for it. And we wish him well in the future, you know. So let's look at now the lineup of disciplines in the grand final. World's Strongest Man brings 6 grueling disciplines for the grand final in Sacramento to see who will be the 2021 champion. And we kick off with the Giants medley. This is a heavy, heavy moving setup. And, you know, out of the lineup that's qualified to win this, in my opinion, I can't see beyond people like Tom Stoltman, who moves really quickly. Adam Bishop moves quickly. Our big Icelander, and Konstantin Janashe, who has won the first discipline in the past in World's Strongest Man finals. So, you know, these are the guys. But I think overall, in this medley, I can see Konstantin putting down first blood in this discipline. Second discipline in World's Strongest Man final will be the Titans Turntable. Now, this new event, new discipline, it'll be interesting to see who will win this one. I can see it being a real body event discipline where you've got to be super strong, a bit of packing on the shoulders. So like a Brian Shaw there will come good in this. Caron, super strong, you know, sturdy men like that will come through. And I can see Brian Shaw getting the win in this discipline. Third discipline is the keg toss. Bit of a Highland Games event. You'd fancy the two Stoltman brothers to come good here. Explosive power will be needed. But the guy that will be really good in this, again, will be Brian Shaw. And if he wants this title, he needs to work hard and win this discipline out of all the disciplines. But other men like Konstantin Janashe, all very explosive. Our big Eythor Melsted, people like that. A full range of guys. Who knows, Trey Mitchell may find his explosive power, but we'll soon see. But I can't see Brian Shaw being beaten in this discipline. Log for Max. Well, this is a real power event. This is the daddy event of the competition, and I'm really excited to see this. We've got some great log pressers, no other than our own Brit and Scotsman, that is Luke Stoltman. He's a 200 kilo presser, and also we have Bobby Thompson, the American champion in log pressing. So it's going to be a real interesting battle between these two guys, but you can't rule out Caron and Brian Shaw to gain some points. But if I'm going to stick my neck out, I think our Brit, Luke Stoltman, will get the win here. Next up, our fifth discipline in World's Strongest Man 2021 is the deadlift. Now listen, for me, this is one where we'll see our Brit, Adam Bishop, come into his own. I fancy him here to be the dark horse and possibly get the win here. Konstantin Janashe, also, if he wants to be World's Strongest Man, also needs to fight for the win. If I'm going to stick my neck out, I'm going to say Konstantin will just nick it over Adam Bishop here in the deadlift. Last event is the Stones of Strength, the Atlas Stones, the McLash's Stones. Big concrete balls, and you need a set to win this. Who's going to be champion? We've got some of the best stone lifters on the planet in this lineup, and Eythor from Iceland, he'll be a dark horse in this. JF Caron will be an unbelievable stone lifter as well. Konstantin has it. Listen, they're all stacked great stone lifters, but the two best in this lineup are Tom Stoltman and probably Brian Shaw for speed and getting these stones on. And if Brian wants that fifth title, or Konstantin Janashe wants to win, Tom Stoltman wants to make the podium, and JF Caron, listen, it's all going to come down to the stones. So what a fantastic finale for World's Strongest Man. And we'll see who's winning. But if I'm going to stick my neck out, I can't see anybody beating our Tom when it comes to stones. Top three prediction of World's Strongest Man. For me, in third this year will be JF Caron. I think he'll make his podium, deservedly so. He's been a few World's Strongest Man. He's coming into his own now, and I really hope the Canadian, who's an absolute gent, goes on to get that podium spot. So I've got JF for third. In second, for me, will be Bran Shaw. All the events suit Bran, all the disciplines in general suit Bran. And listen, you never know, he might have that Cinderella in his twilight years and get the win. I definitely see him on the podium. I'm going to give him the runner-up spot this year, and he'll just miss out on winning that 5th title. And then for the win, again, might be putting my head on the block here a little bit, but you know, sometimes you've got to have that prediction. And I've watched this athlete for a long, long time, and he's already proved by winning his group outright and getting the biggest gap between first and second in the group and the most points. And of all 5 groups, the one that's going to be world's strongest man this year is the big Georgian, the Georgian bull that is Konstantin Janashev. And listen, I wish him well. He's my prediction for the win. But who's going to get in the mix of this will be Tom Stoltman. He's another guy that could take a podium spot. So let's not rule out Tom. But listen, world's strongest man 2021, the daddy's prediction, Konstantin Janashev. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe below, and let's see some great comments of what you'd like to see. And if you want to go to an Ultimate Strongman show, get your tickets, ultimatestrongman.tv, and we'll see you there.